So today I'm going to be making this house. I've already done the base, one roof piece, one side wall, one end wall, but this house needs two of those, and two of those. So you have to cast it twice. So I'm going to mix up some resin. I'm going to mix up 200 mils. If I can get the lid off. This is the resin I use. T-Expert. So we'll have 100. This is off screen, I know, but 100 mils. Oh, that's the hardener. And 100 mils of the resin. Sometimes I struggle to get these lids off. And that's going to be too much, but any less than that wouldn't be enough. It takes 200 mils to fill the whole mould, but I'm not doing this base piece. So there's my resin, and I'm just going to give that a mix with my silicone spatula. Nice and slow, although I always seem to get bubbles, but they do work themselves out eventually. In a shallow mould they degas really quick. I'm going to be putting some pink pigment and some purple pigment in. This is for a customer order and they wanted pink and purple. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I will be decanting some of this into a smaller pot in a minute. But before I do that, I'm going to fill these little heart moulds just with some clear, because I know I'm going to have too much and I want clear hearts. So I'm just going to do that first. Let's just move that slightly out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. They're only small moulds, but they'll use a bit of the resin, and I've got something else I can put any leftovers in. And they've got like lots of little lines inside and some little holes, so they do actually make quite pretty hearts. So that's ready now. I'm just going to pour this very gently. So like I say, they're shallow moulds into there. I'm not going to fill it all the way because I've got some paper that I want to put on the back to give it a nice background. Probably too much, but never mind. A little bit more. And the last one. Okay, that's them done. I'm just going to put them out of the way to cure. Now I'm going to put some in this little pot here. For the pink, I'm going to probably put about a third, because maybe a bit more. I've only got one roof piece, which is the pink. Hopefully that'll be enough. And the walls are going to be purple. So I'm going to put a couple of my drops of pink pigment. This is translucent pigment. It actually isn't really going to make that much difference because I'm going to fill it with glitter. Lots and lots of glitter. Oh, that stick's making that tip. Okay, so I've got some nice light pink glitter, and I'm just going to throw oops, that was probably a bit too much. Never mind. You can never have too much, can you? So it's going to be nice and sparkly. Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely. Okay, so let me just get my mould back. And I'm going to fill this roof piece. And these little dinks here need to be completely covered, because that's what helps it to sit. So I'm just going to pour that in. Hopefully I've made enough and I won't have to mix up any more. Of the colour. Looks like I might have just about made enough. Maybe even slightly too much. Who knows? Oh, there's a bit missing up there. There we go. Well, I have literally just about made enough. Ooh. Blobbed it over the star. And these silicone spatulas are great for squeezing out, or scraping out I should say, absolutely every last drop of resin out of your pots, which is great because we don't want to waste any. Actually, I probably could have done with just a tiny bit more actually. Oops. Scrape out every last little drop, and then I'll give that pot a clean with a wipe. And this is just an empty dessert pot, I think, cleaned out. All these sorts of things come in handy. Recycle and reuse and all that. So I think that's just about that part all squeezed out. Let me just get myself a white, which I've left over the other side of the room. Clean my stick. Okay. So I'll put the lid back on that glitter, or that will go everywhere. Now for the walls, I'm using this grape purple. So I'm going to put a couple of drops of that in. And give that a stir. Very translucent colour, but like I say, once the glitter's in there, you're not even really going to notice because it's going to have a lot of glitter. Okay. I stirred that way too fast, but okay, and there's my purple glitter. Need quite a bit of this because it's for 2 walls. I'll mix that up and see how that looks. Then I might add a bit more. Who knows? But that glitter definitely makes it go more opaque. No, I think that's just about perfect actually. plenty of glitter. It will all sink to the bottom anyway, which is fine because the bottom is the outside. So let's pour these in here. Now I do tend to try and use my spatula and just drizzle a little bit over there, over the windows, just to make sure it gets right down there in those little gaps. Nothing worse than having an incomplete window frame, and that I'll just be able to pick off after. And again on the other window. And let's just fill the rest of this. And then I can do the other side piece. That's the little notch that fits into the roof. I don't know if you can see, but some of the bubbles are coming to the surface and popping already. Okay, so let's do the other side. I'm going to have a little bit of resin left over, but that's fine. I have a couple of things I can put that in, because I think I'm going to have quite a bit left over actually, even though I did the hearts. Let's just do the windows. Make sure they're all filled in. As I'm sure everybody knows, it's self-leveling resin, but sometimes the really tiny little gaps, it doesn't fill. So that's fine. Let's put a bit more in just to make sure. Don't want to overfill though. I think that one could do with a bit more in as well. Okay, that's fine. Now I've got this little angel mould that I use as a spare if I've got leftover resin, so I'm going to fill that up with some nice sparkly purple, and hope that doesn't all sink to the bottom, because that's going to look a bit strange if it does. I can hear my partner in the other room talking to the dogs. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to move this over slightly. I've also got this little cat mould, which is absolutely adorable. These cats come out beautiful, and this one here on the end is my favourite, so always fill that one first. And I've got some cats made already that I'll show you. Oh, that might just about fill this one. Push that up its legs a little bit. There we go. That's that. Unfortunately, there's not really... Oh, I'll stick it in there anyway, but it's not going to fit it. Waste not, want not. I can top it up with a different colour at a later date. Although this particular cat is quite thin. But these cats I think are great. They can be, how did I manage to get some down the outside? They can be used as pen rests or just little decorations, and they just, depending on what you put in them, they just look so adorably cute. I've watched a lot of videos where YouTubers have talked about pocket hugs. I think these would make excellent pocket hugs. We could send them with a little card that says, "Have a perfect day." That's my plan anyway. So that's that. I've used up all my resin now. Just gonna wait for them to cure. Okay, so the last stage also is, and I've left that over here as well, to just very gently go over with a long neck lighter just to pop any bubbles. Although I have noticed that these ones do tend to pop themselves quite quickly in a shallow mould. But not this time. Typically, there's me saying, "Oh, they pop, they pop." It's got quite a lot of bubbles in this one. Got my window open, it's blowing the flame the wrong way. Okay, that's that one. And I'm just going to do my angel. That's got a couple of bubbles, not bobbles, on the top. And that one, well, there's no point doing that one, it's not even full. Okay, so we'll wait for them to cure. Before I do go, let me show you first. This is the base of the house. And this is the side piece. That's the outside, so you can see all the sparkle. On the inside, you can still see it, but it's not as sparkly. So that goes like that. Then the side wall, wrong way, goes like that. And then the roof, inside out, just sits. It's hard to put it together when you haven't got all the bits. The little dinks sit. Hang on, 1 second. I am new to this, can you tell? Let me move this. It's not very easy to move because it's flat. Right, that's that moved over a little bit. Okay. So, there's the base. There's the side piece. There's the end piece. And then the roof sits in the little dinks like that. And then you put a little tea light in the inside. And that's how it looks. And I'll show you the finished product when it's done. But you put a little tea light inside, either a plain one or a multicoloured one, a colour changing one. The battery operated ones, of course, and it lights up, shines out through the windows. Here's one of my little angels that I made. So they are so cute. So that's what that purple one will come out looking like. And also, these are my little cats. They're so cute. And I put all glitter in there, and you can see all the little different bits of glitter. And then you can rest a pen either on its neck there or in between its ears, if you want to. I just think they're cute. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.